Maria Savushkina. You are a member of the Belarusian Association of Journalists, and you made a had a very hard time in the last, let's say, years in Belarus, starting the demonstration in 2020. Then the journalist organization was thrown out of the country. The journalists were thrown out of the country to Belarus. They went to Ukraine. Now the war, the Russian aggression against Ukraine started. And you just told me that you are safe in Germany at the moment. So let me ask you, what is your situation in the moment, and how do you feel personally?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for this great chance to tell about myself, about our project a little bit. Right, I'm journalist, editor, and media manager for different kind of media projects. And about 1 year ago, I joined the ChinChin team. This is the media art group, which started to work to produce the content after protests in Belarus in 2020, in August 2020. Part of the team are former members of Yanka Kupala State Drama Theater. Maybe you know, Ministry of Culture in August 2020 clamped down on the theater by firing all its personnel in one day. So the actors and members of the theater, they have started their own projects on YouTube, on media, and one of this project was ChinChin. This is political satire project, and we met success because audience liked our content. What we have tried to do is to reveal the absurd of propaganda, absurd of officials thinking, and by different creative tools using YouTube, social networks, reach audience with this idea. And I have to say that people really loved it. Our videos on YouTube get 1 million views, and in social networks we got many shares and reactions on our content. But half of the year we also we have been threatened by authorities. We got threats of arrests, and our houses was under threats. So we decided to leave Belarus and go to Ukraine to continue to work for Belarusian audience in safe conditions. Mm-hmm. And for example, I left Belarus September 1. I went to Vilnius. I couldn't cross the border by the first time because I didn't have enough documents to cross the Belarusian borders. I went back to small city near borders and printed more documents and waited when border guard duty shifted. Other border guards came. Other duty came, and and they allowed me to go through Belarusian border, and I went to Vilnius and stayed there for about 2 weeks, and then our team decided that we have to go to Ukraine because Ukraine was very friendly for media, and entertainment industry, show business was well developed there, and it is the costs were low than in European Union, than in Lithuania, costs of production. So I took the flight and went to Kiev in the end of September, and stayed in my friend's house. This 7 people, they left Belarus after protests, and they agreed to accept me in their house. There were 2 children and 1 disabled person, so we lived about months together. And then we decided to go to Lviv because the location in Lviv better, and the city is smaller, and transport infrastructure is lighter than in Kiev. So in the middle of October, I relocated to Lviv, and I stayed there till February 26. As you know, February 24, Russia attacked Ukraine, and it was absolutely I don't know, the thing you cannot be prepared for, you know. And in one day we decided to leave the country and to go to Poland, because Poland opened border for refugees, and we didn't have visas. I don't have a visa right now. I'm waiting for waiting
to get the visa,
to get visa or status maybe. So in one day I went out from my apartment, and we, all the team, it's about 10 person, we went to the central station to get the refugee trains to Przemysl. This is a free train which takes refugees from Lviv and put them to Przemysl. It's the closer Polish city to Lviv. It's about 80 kilometers from Lviv to Przemysl. To make this road, it took us about 13 hours. So to check our passports took about 6 hours. So all this time we couldn't leave the train. It was overloaded by women, by children, by luggage, and in this train was about 1,500 people.
It's unbelievable.
It was overloaded.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Yes. It's hard experience that I know. It makes me hard to remember, because when we left Lviv, light shut it down. It was dark inside the train for make the train invisible from the air, because would be
Russian attacks, air attacks could be possible.
From the air. Yes, and after we left, the train stopped and stayed for 2 more hours, and we didn't know what happens. And there were no connections, no water, no toilet. Children cried. And this I saw this in old press photos before, you know. But I had no idea I will be able sometime to see it by my own eyes. So after our team members, we have family inside the team. the family of actors, and they went by car. They took they have two children, and they went to cross the border by car, and they waited for 3 days in the line to cross the border with Polish. So we met them only in 4 days after we came to Warsaw. So when we crossed the border, Ukrainian volunteers took us 7 person very quickly. They are heroes. They're great guys, and took us 7 person by 3 cars. They took us to Warsaw, and by charts, by many services to support refugees, I found a family of Belarusians who allowed me to live in their apartment for any time I need. So I stayed in Warsaw for 5 days, and then partners of Belarusian Association of Journalists in Germany allowed 3 journalists to live in their residence in Germany. So now I'm in Brno, in a small village near Polish border, and we'll stay here for a couple of weeks. Our team, our ChinChin team, we decided, what I would like to say, that we decided to continue to work for Belarusian audience. This is the only decision we will be able to take, we was be able to take in all this situation. We discuss how we will do it and where we will do it. It's a hard discussion because our members, they do not have place where to live, and we don't know where to stay. We now, but we are still a team. It's a great news, and I think in time we will manage this.
Yeah. I also think, Maria, that is necessary at the moment to make the network working between East and West in this cruel time. I would have also not really thought about this Russian aggression against Ukraine. But during our media dialogue project in 2020, 2 things happened. The demonstrations against the Lukashenko regime after this elections in inverted commas, the big demonstrations. We had a lot of also in between the project. We made it online, Corona-based. And we saw the pictures. We organized also some solidarity activities for Belarusian journalists. And then at the second part of our project, the war, the attacks of Turkey and Azerbaijan against Armenia happens. First the protest, then the war in Armenia, also with Russian involvement, and now this unbelievable aggression against Ukraine. When you look back to all these things happening since 2020, you see any connections between these different things as a preparing of this war against Ukraine?
I think that Lukashenko and Putin have planned this aggression for a long time. It's clear now that main topic of meetings in frame of Union State of Belarus and Russia, there were 6 or 7 meetings of Putin and Lukashenko last year. And we all got press releases that they discuss education and they discuss cooperation in science, etc., etc. But now we understand that the real topic of these meetings was a war, a plan to attack Ukraine, and Lukashenko said that it will never happen from Belarusian territory. But now we see that infrastructure and Belarusian territory in the south is used by Russian troops, by Russian army to attack Ukraine from the north border. And I think it was a plan. It was planned for many, many years before we find it out. That's why.
And it explains perhaps too why the security forces in Belarus were so brutal against the demonstrations, to have a really clear battlefield Belarus, let's say it in this way.
That's true, that this campaign against NGO, against journalists, now we can say that it was a part of this plan to make Belarus weak, without any opposition, without any political alternative, political without any options for people. Russia can use Belarus right now to attack Ukraine. It looks like one campaign, like parts of one plan to attack Ukraine and use Belarus for it.
And like what our media here, and I think this all our impressions too, as the audience, when we look at the situation in Ukraine, we have the heroic fight of Ukrainian people, Ukrainian army, and the plan of Putin seems to be a big fail, to make this crazy. That's a word I hate, this blitzkrieg, because this is a real fascist word. Belarus knows what it means, and he failed. And now we have the sanction situation. What do you think is what effects will there be to Belarus too in the actual situation and perhaps in the middle term view?
We all see how Ukrainian people fight right now. And it's a big hope for us too, because in case of victory, in case they will win, it will be win for us as well. From the other hand, I understand, I have a master's degree in political sciences, and I understand that different scenario can be possible. And now the key point is Kyiv, the fight for Kyiv, and maybe it's hard to say right now, because news and, for example, my personal messengers, they are overload of stories of people, stories of my friends, and I see in how difficult situation they are. It's hard to think about big policy, big when you are looking at the stories of real people, and bombing at cities which are destroyed. But I believe that all dictatorships and sometimes it will come a day when Putin dictatorship and Lukashenko's dictatorship will fail. So I have this hope, and I wish victory to Ukrainian people. And what can I do? I will try to do to just to make this day closer to this moment.
Yeah, so I see it. I'm very. We are all in solidarity with Ukraine, helping the people, the refugees. This cruel scenes you told about being in the train, in the refugee train from Lemberg. I had been in Lemberg last November. I had been in Kiev in November too during our media dialogue project. So I know all this. All those places in a peaceful situation, and our media dialogue organizers. Two are one is working for ABC at the moment in Lemberg. Yuri is between media work and fighting. Vladimir from Lutsk is in the territorial protect forces. And also Yevhen from University of Kiev also fought the last days and goes now to a safer place after territorial defense forces. Our Katarina is sitting at the moment at Kiev, being afraid of the bombs. And this is naturally clear that solidarity, personal solidarity, helping the refugees, this is the main task at the moment, and everything else we will see what will happen. Hopefully in a good way. Hopefully in a way that dictatorship fails. And this was Putin's really last war. And so we can also meet in Minsk under other circumstances in the future. And so, Maria, I'm very happy that it was possible to make the talk for you. I think it's also important for our Ukrainian friends, knowing that we are all standing behind them in solidarity, and Media Dialogue Network is working. So thank you very much, and much greetings to your colleagues, to Andrei Bastunets, the chairman of the Belarus Journalists Association, and all the best for you. And I hope that we will be in touch in the future too. Thank you very much, and let's fight the dictators.
Okay, let's do it.